Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a monthly favorites. I feel like I haven't done a monthly favorites in a couple months. Let me actually double check that. No. What? The last monthly favorites that I did was 9 months ago. What kind of beauty YouTuber am I? So this is very long overdue. I guess I haven't done a monthly favorites in a really long time. Let me know in the comments if you guys still enjoy monthly favorites. I know I do personally. I truly don't know why I haven't done one in 9 months. I'm gonna be going through pretty much like the full face of makeup that I've been loving the most this month. I am gonna be putting everything on my face because I do know that you guys prefer that type of favorites video. And if you have any favorites from April that you want to share with everybody, would love to hear what you've been loving in the comments. And of course, hit the thumbs up button if you do enjoy today's video and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. So let's zoom in and start applying all these products. So the first product that I'm gonna be putting on my face, my first favorite of the month, is an SPF. This is the Biosol Squalane and Zinc Sheer Mineral Sunscreen. I love this for so many different reasons. It does not feel like sunscreen. It does not smell like sunscreen. It basically just disappears on the skin. I've been wearing this pretty much every single day for about a month now. Whenever I try an SPF, I'm always a little bit concerned that it's going to make me break out because a lot of SPFs do that, and it's very, very frustrating. This does not break me out, which is another reason why I love this so much and why I've really committed to using this guy specifically every single day, because I know that my skin does really like it. I really put this stuff to the test when I was in LA over the last week because I was spending so much time outside. I was doing outdoor hikes and there was definitely a lot of sun beating down on my face, and I didn't get burnt, which is great, which just showed me that this was adequately protecting my skin. Future Jamie here, hi. The little sunscreen in my hair right over here will be there for a while. Next, I want to talk about a glowy primer. This is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum, and this one is in the shade Main Squeeze. I picked up this product on a whim. I really didn't know too much about it, hadn't heard anybody talk about this, and I'm really, really happy that I did because I can really see this being a huge staple of mine moving forward into the summer, especially because this is the most beautiful primer if you do want a glowier base. What makes this really special is the fact that it is a glowy serum. So that's what the texture looks like. It's obviously very serum-like, and it does have a little bit of a tint to it. Main Squeeze has a very slight golden tint, and it doesn't make your skin look like a golden disco ball or anything. It just adds a very, very subtle golden glow to the face, which I just find to be really pretty and flattering. I also love the serum texture. It really makes the skin feel very, very plump and hydrated. And the glow that it gives the skin is very natural looking. It really just looks like I'm wearing a ton of skincare, which is exactly what I want to see from a glowy primer. But what makes this different than just applying a whole lot of skincare is the fact that it does have that nice golden kind of sheen and undertone to it. Now, I have been wearing this mainly underneath my foundations, but you could totally also wear a product like this on its own if you just want your skin to look really nice and glowy and healthy, but again, not over the top. Moving on to foundation, there are a couple foundations that I've been really in love with lately, especially the Kosas Revealer foundation, and I was kind of debating between talking about that one or talking about this guy over here, but I ended up deciding to go with the Makeup Forever HD Skin, even though the Kosas Revealer is definitely a huge, huge favorite of mine over the last month. I do feel like I've been wearing this one just a little bit more just because this doesn't have quite as much coverage as the Kosas, so I have been going towards this a little bit more for my everyday foundation. So this is the Makeup Forever HD Skin. Now, the best way to describe this product is that it is like the MAC Face and Body with more coverage. And the reason why I say that is because the MAC Face and Body is one of the most natural looking skin-like foundations out there. It gives you very, very light coverage, but it really does look like skin. It truly doesn't really look like you're wearing product when you are wearing that foundation. This guy kind of gives you the same very natural skin-like effect, but it has obviously more coverage compared to the MAC Face and Body. I actually brought this to LA, and a friend of mine who was there who likes a lot of the same types of products as I do was asking me about this product, and I was telling her that she would absolutely love it, but she was a little bit unsure because she was like, you know, I really just don't like the feeling of foundation. I don't like things that are too heavy, and I really always want my skin to look as natural looking as possible. But at the same time, I want my skin to look perfected. I'm like, trust me, this is literally going to be the foundation of your dreams. You are going to love it. And she tried it and she fell in love with it immediately. She was like, okay, I am purchasing that immediately because that is literally exactly what I'm looking for. So enough talking about it. Let me show you what it actually looks like. Now I have the shade 2N22, which I will say does not match me perfectly. I do feel like this is a little bit too yellow for my skin. I think I'm probably going to get another shade at some point when I do get a little bit more tan, but it does work for me because it isn't super full coverage, so I'm able to make it work. So I like to go in with about 2 pumps, and I'm going to apply it with my MAC 170. And a little bit of this stuff does go a long way. It does spread really, really nicely on the skin. It's not like a super thick formula, but it's also not very watery or serum-like the MAC Face and Body. You can see how much left is on my hand. I put the teeniest little bit on my foundation brush, and it covered the entire half of my face pretty much flawlessly. I've been wearing this both day today and also at nighttime. I do really like the fact that this does not have SPF in it because I do like to wear it at night and I don't want to worry about flashback. I do also find that this lasts really nicely throughout the day as well, and it definitely does not attach to my dry patches. So this is just another product that really does everything that I want it to do, which is why it's in my favorites. Again, shade match, not the best, but we will look past that. My favorite concealer of the month and one of my favorite discoveries of the month is definitely the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. I did mention this in a drugstore video that I posted a couple weeks ago, and you could see my full first impression and reaction to this product when I first tried it. I was so impressed, and for obviously a lot of really good reasons. This is definitely one of my favorite concealer formulas that I've tried in a while, and it's by far my favorite concealer that I've tried from the drugstore. That is a huge statement, but I can say that very confidently because this stuff is just really, really, really good. If you've not tried this yet and you are kind of on the same wavelength as me when it does come to your concealer preferences, you have to try this. So it's medium to full coverage with a thinner consistency, so it doesn't look or feel heavy underneath the eyes. It lasts very, very well. It's also pretty hydrating as well, so if you do have dry under eyes, this stuff is awesome. Just overall, this is one of my favorite types of formulas for my under eyes. And you could also never discount a good shade match, especially when it comes to a concealer or a foundation. This is the shade Vanilla and it matches me perfectly. It's like the perfect light, medium, neutral shade. You also need a very, very, very small amount, so you barely even have to touch the pump to get a little bit of product out, and that's all you're gonna need for both of your under eyes. So I'm just going to apply a little bit with my fingers. You can see it kind of like spreads really nicely as well, which is also why you just don't need a lot. And I actually really, really love applying this product with my finger. It's so funny. Every single time I go in to apply this, I grab a brush ready to blend it out. But as soon as I apply it with my finger, I always just end up blending it out with my finger as well, because I find it just meshes into the skin so nicely when applied this way. Look at how good my under eyes look. That little tiny bit of concealer completely blanked out my under eyes in the best way. And this nice little skincare-like glow, that's what just brings it over the top for me. I also don't find that I necessarily have to set this with powder for it to last, but I do like to set my concealer with powder pretty much always anyway. I'm just gonna go into my Kosas Cloud Set. This is obviously always a favorite of mine, but it's not really one that I'm specifically mentioning this month because you guys already know the drill with it. But I'm just using it to set to the center of my face as I normally like to do. So if you want like a really nice, flawless, but still pretty natural looking and not heavy base combo, this is what I would recommend. Let's move on now to bronzer. This has been by far my favorite cream bronzer over the last couple of weeks. This is the Rare Beauty Happy Soul Bronzer Stick. You guys may not realize it, but you influence me quite a bit. I read almost every single comment that I get on my videos, and so many of you guys have been saying that this has been one of your favorite bronzer sticks, and I had it in my collection and I did use it in one of my previous videos, but I never really went back to it. But when I started to see those comments like time and time again, I was like, okay, I need to take this back out of my collection and start using it again, because there must be a reason why so many people love this product. And so I started using it day to day, and I also brought it with me on my trip to LA, and I absolutely adored this cream bronzer. And I could totally see why so many of you guys love this so much. So this cream bronzer comes in a stick, and I really like that because I like just drawing my cream bronzer onto my face. It just makes things really quick and easy. But what I really, really like about this product is how easy it is to blend out. Look at this. Blended. That was quick. Cream bronzers that are typically really easy to blend out are most of the time very gel-like and almost wet feeling, and that's what gives them that slip, which just makes, I find, it easier to blend out onto the skin. Whereas stiffer formulas do require like a little bit more elbow grease, but I do find those formulas to be more long wearing. And while I do like those more emollient bronzer formulas, I find that they're just not the best sometimes, especially when you want more of a long wearing bronzer look. And so I feel like this kind of gives you best of both worlds. It gives you the blend of a very slippery bronzer, but it gives you the wear time of a stiffer bronzer. Me again, for some reason I didn't blend my bronzer right over here, and it's making me want to reach through the screen and go like this. But I can't. You know, it happens. My bad. Thank you so much for pushing this product in my comment section, because without you guys, I probably wouldn't have pulled it back out of my collection. Please keep recommending products in the comment section. Thank you so much. I would say, especially if you're a cream bronzer beginner and you're a little bit intimidated by cream bronzers, this would be a perfect product to start out with. I just feel like it's so easy and seamless to use across the board. So for blush, I actually have two new favorites that I wanted to talk about. One is a cream and one is a powder. For the cream, this is pretty new in my life. It is the Westman Atelier blush in the shade Baby Cheeks. And this is actually the very first Westman Atelier product that I've ever tried. I've always kind of seen these products on Sephora, but then also looked at the price tag and was like, no. But when I was in LA and I went into Sephora and I saw the whole display of this, and I never seen it in store before, it got me really excited and really intrigued. And it was just really nice to see all the products actually in person. And that made me a little bit more comfortable to want to spend the X amount of dollars on a cream blush when I can actually see the color in person and be sure that it would be a color that I would actually be into. And this color just looks so gorgeous. I had to pick it up to try it out. I also always say that it's for research purposes. So first of all, I just want to note the packaging on this because it is really, really beautiful. It's magnetic packaging, which I always love. Anything with a magnet is something that I could pretty much always get behind. I mean, how satisfying is that? And the color itself is a really pretty berry shade, similar to the Rare Beauty bronzer. This just blends out really seamlessly and really easily. It's what I would expect for such an expensive cream product. So I've been applying this right on my cheekbone like that. And obviously, again, it looks really crazy and really bright, but look at how nicely this blends. Overall, I couldn't say that this is necessarily worth its price, but this is exactly how I would expect a cream product at this level of price to perform. So there's at least that. Very different from this color is this guy from Dior. This is like essentially a cool toned pink. It's the Dior Backstage Color Awakening Universal Blush in Rosy Glow. This one is in 001 Pink, and this color is essentially supposed to be universally flattering no matter what your skin tone is. I would typically never in a million years go towards a cool tone pink blush. It's just not a color that I would ever see to be flattering for my skin tone, but there's something about this formula. I don't know what it is, and I don't know how Dior does it, but it really is so flattering. And it doesn't really show up as this cool toned pink on the cheeks. It more so just kind of gives the perfect amount of rosiness to the cheeks that just looks, again, very natural looking and very flattering. Let me show you. To apply, I'm gonna use my Rephr 05 brush, and I actually like to kind of pile this stuff on. So I'm gonna pick up quite a bit and put it more towards the apple of my cheeks and blend it backwards. And you see when it's actually applied, it doesn't look like a cool tone pink. It actually blends really nicely with the Westman Atelier blush. And as you guys were able to see, like these two colors could not be more different. So the fact that they actually complement each other just shows you how this transforms itself when it's actually applied to the cheeks. I fell in love with another NYX product from that drugstore video that I recently did. This is the NYX Thickening Brow Mascara. It's called the Thick It Stick It. My favorite types of brow products to use, as most of you probably know, are brow mascaras that both fill in and set my brows in place, because I just really don't like taking the time to do my brows, but I also know that brows are obviously really important, so I do always want my brows to look filled in and groomed. There are a couple products that I use that I really like to achieve that. The M Cosmetics Brow Cream, the Makeup Forever Aqua Resist, the Kosas Air Brow is like a light version of that. This NYX Thick It Stick It is probably one of my favorites that I've tried. The reason why this kind of sits above the other brow mascaras that I've tried is because I find that this does everything that the other ones do, but it does have a much, much better hold than a lot of the other thickening and filling in brow mascaras. The one thing that I don't love about this product is the wand. I do wish the wand was a little bit on the smaller side because I feel like I would have been able to have more control over the product, but I am definitely able to make it work. And besides that, it's just a really, really great product. I use the shade Espresso, which matches my brows perfectly. I always find that NYX does a very good job at getting brow colors right. So I tend to apply the majority of the product towards the midpoint of my brow, and then I feather it towards the tail. And I just push all my brow hairs where I want them to go, which is typically going up. And then when I have less product on my wand, I'll even wipe off some of the excess just so it's not too much. I'll put it towards the front of my brows. It's also kind of buildable, so if you want really, really dark and intense brows, you could just continue to build up the color to get it to be as dark as you like. For eyeshadow, I actually don't have any favorites from the month. The only thing that I've been really doing with my eyes lately is just a wing with a brown liquid eyeliner, nothing too exciting. So I don't really have anything to talk about, but I do have a mascara here that I have been in love with. This is the MAC Stack, and this is probably one of the most buildable mascaras I have ever tried. This mascara gives you such thick and voluminous lashes, and it's very, very, very buildable. That's kind of the whole point around this. It's called the Stack because you're meant to stack the layers on top of each other to get a more intense look as you stack it. And so it is customizable in that way. You can do one layer or one stack of the mascara to get something a little bit more, I wouldn't say natural looking because it's not a natural looking mascara, but a little bit more low key, or you can continue to layer it to just build up the product and get it to be really, really intense. A lot of mascaras, when you try to build them up, they will get really, really clumpy and all of your lashes will just start to like stick together and become one. With this mascara, that does not happen. You are really able to build up the volume without creating more clumpiness. So this one is the micro brush. They do have two different versions. One is the macro brush, I think it's called. It's like the bigger version, and this is the micro. I do really like the micro one just because I feel like I can have a little bit more control with the smaller brush. And I'll start off with one layer so you guys can see what one layer can give you. The brush is pretty spiky, and I think that's what helps with any clumpiness, and it keeps the lashes very, very separated. So there's one layer. So now I'm gonna dip my brush back in and go in with some more product. There's another layer. I'm gonna do the same thing, dip my brush back in, wait a few seconds, go in with more product. And I typically like to do 3 layers of the product, but I'm telling you, you can go heavy with this stuff and you will just have the most intense lashes. I mean, look at that. It speaks for itself. It's insane. It literally blew me out of the water the first time that I tried this. I've never had a mascara make my lashes look like this. It's really wild. So here's the before and after. And I don't have like incredibly long lashes. I also don't have very, very short lashes either, but it's not like I have the most insane lashes ever where any mascara looks good on me. That's definitely not the case. This somehow makes it look like I have crazy, crazy, crazy long lashes. It's really just insane. I can't say enough good things about this product. All right, we have made it to the end. The very last product that I want to talk about is of course a lip product, and I couldn't not mention the Merit lipsticks as by far my favorite lip product of the month. I have not been able to stop wearing these ever since I got them. I think it was right at the beginning of April. My favorite shade that I have is Slip, which is this really nice neutral brown. I really enjoy the formula of this. It's sheer, but it's buildable. So you are able to get like a nice amount of color, but you can also get something a little bit more subdued if you want. So for a shade like Cabo, which is a pretty intense orangey red, this could go on pretty intensely if you layer it up, but you can also get a nice wash of color with this if you just dab it on your lips, and you're able to get both with this type of formula. It just feels very balm-like and hydrating and comfortable. So I'm first gonna line my lips with the Makeup Forever Limitless Brown Lip Liner. I'm really going for a 90s look today. And now going in with Slip. And there you have it. It's a really great everyday shade. I'm gonna finish everything off by spraying my face with my Caudalie Beauty Elixir, which is so nice and refreshing. And we are done. And that finishes off all of my favorites from the month of April. I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, I'm so sorry that it's taken me 9 months to do another monthly favorites. I promise this will never happen again. If you guys have any thoughts on any of the products that I used today, I would love to hear them in the comments, and let me know any of your favorite products from the past month, and hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy today's video, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.